So this is one of two videos that I've been asked for a lot since I got the MDX Type S, and they're videos that people are asking about because of the modifications that I've actually made to this old girl here. The front camera washer that I put in, and also the AC outlet. For anybody that knows the MDX Type S, you know that in 2022 through 2024, Acura did have an AC outlet in the back seat. As you can see, it looks just like this with one big difference. The 2025s have USB-Cs here, and they do not have an AC outlet. But as you can see, mine has the OEM outlet here. So this is what it normally looks like when it comes from the factory. You have a blank. In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove the blank, how to install the OEM AC outlet. So I'm going to give you a little background first. I was surprised that the 2025 removed the AC outlet, and with all the camping and off-roading that I do, I actually do use it. I use it for charging walkie-talkies. I use it to power the refrigerator when I go camping. I use it to charge up the dog's e-collars. Like, there's a variety of things that the AC outlet's really good for, with relatively low wattage, in addition to the common things like, I don't know, plugging in a laptop or something when you're traveling. The steps that I took to reproduce this was I initially ordered the wire harness from a 2022 through 2024 that had the AC outlet, and I connected it to the OEM harness, and it connected just fine. So the next step was I purchased the AC outlet plug that goes in the console back here, connected it, it connected just fine. The 2022 through 2024 harness did properly connect with the USB-Cs. So if you remember earlier in the video, I said that with the 2022, there were only USB-As in the back. So that was a nice find. So at this point, I'm humming right along. I got the old wire harness, it connected to the new hardware, and it connected to the AC outlet. So the last thing is plugging something in. And I went to plug it in and it didn't work. So I did some research and found that the DC to AC inverter for the MDX Type S is actually up by next to your left knee, and it's not there. And there's no pigtail for it. So it is a completely different wire harness that runs throughout the car. Obviously, I was hoping it was the same just because everything else was identical except that, but it's not. So what was the easiest way? I now had the OEM plug, I had the OEM harness with the OEM connector. I just needed to have it powered. So the easiest way that I found to solve that was to simply buy a DC to AC inverter off of Amazon and wire it up to its own fuse. There's plenty of room in the center console to put something small in there. It's low wattage and it can run on its own circuit. So that's what I did, and that's what we're going to do today. Always do this at your own risk. Disconnect the negative battery terminal in the trunk or up front, wherever your battery's located, and then you can get... Okay, so first things first, we're going to take this thing off. It's easiest to open the console, and then you're going to touch just the edges on the plastic and pull straight back. So it is difficult, but it does pop out. So once that comes out, we're going to pull it back towards you, and then slowly pull it down, just like that. So this way we won't break any clips. So we're going to unplug the wire harness, and just like anything, it just has a push pin on the left side. Push it in, and then you have this. So we'll take it in the back and we will start working. You do not have to take this piece out, but I can guarantee you it's a lot easier if you do. So the harness that you're going to order looks like this. It's almost identical, but there are some different colored end pieces. We're not going to use the harness. What we're going to do is we're going to cut off this plug, because this plug is actually going to plug in to here. So now we have our ability to plug in our hot and our neutral for the AC. So looking at this, there's 4 screws, which I have 3 of them out already. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just to move this out of the way, because what you want to access is right here. So as you can see, this is what it looks like, new from the factory. This does not open, it's fixed. We get behind here, I'm going to push on the clips, and that will remove this, make it very easy. What's really nice with this is all one piece. I kept all of the same wattage the same, and then this will spin, and then we'll go ahead and connect everything in. It just literally pops in, so this will make it nice and easy. On this side, literally just pops in, and now it's good to go there. We are able to connect this. Boom. So what I did was I used an old AC plug, because all we're essentially doing is using this as an extension cord to plug in to the inverter. This makes it really simple. You don't need to splice any other wires to the inverter. You don't need to take apart the housing to the inverter. You simply need to plug it in. I'll stick a wiring diagram in the video here in just a second that shows which wire is neutral and which wire is hot. The next thing that we're going to do is take off this panel. It's easiest to take out the floor mat first so it doesn't get in the way, and you're going to reach your hand under here and just pull from the bottom up all the way around. Eventually it will pop off. I think one of the interesting things is it still has the speaker in there from the 2022 through 24, but obviously no speaker and no clips. So I'm not going to undo all this, but this is our inverter. So we have a 150 watt power inverter, has two USBs, and then it has the AC plug. Something that's really nice about this, you actually have a grounding nut right here. It's a 10 millimeter. So taking a look at the fuse box here, number 42 is an accessory fuse, which is what I have plugged in here with a fuse tap. This is going to give me accessory power on its own 20 amp fuse that I ran all the way over to here. So the wiring for the inverter is actually really easy, because obviously it's going from DC to AC. So on this, you simply have one wire that is for 12 volt and one wire that's for ground. So I cut off the 12 volt plug, and you can see this wire has a white line on it. Almost always that's for power. In this case it was as well. So this is going to my power, and then the other wire is going directly to my ground, which I just connected to that bolt. So in order to keep this down, this carpet is very secure. I zip tie here. Okay, now you're 90% of the way done. You're gonna feed the cord from here inside this side of the center console. While you're in here, might as well plug this in, okay? We're going to make sure that everything is lined up. The hardest thing is going to be making sure the two bottom clips are actually in their repository holes. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to plug this guy in and see if everything works. Keep in mind, this needs to spin to go in, and the car's running, so this hypothetically is going to work. And you can actually hear the AC inverter click on. So that is how I wired up an AC inverter to my 2025 Acura MDX Type S. Again, we're using all OEM plugs. We're using the OEM wire connector. We're adding in an aftermarket DC to AC inverter. We're wiring it up to its own circuit. I wired mine to the accessory circuit so that this only comes on when the vehicle's on. That way I don't drain my battery, because I probably would if I wasn't paying attention. That's it. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Have fun.